Welcome back to episode 82, Torrey Smith episode of the Purple. I'll go Purple Rain podcast this week. We aren't at the pain yet, but thank you for coming through. Have a special guest above me right here. Above me. We'll get into that. But real quick, where can they find you on Instagram, Sutton, and Twitter? You know all that.
Yeah, man. Welcome back to the Purple Rain podcast, episode 82, the Torrey Smith episode that is of the Purple Rain podcast. Like my guy Alex said, you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Sutton Def, as you can see right there on the screen. And my guy Alex, you can actually find him on Twitter at simplyas10prod, on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. And Ramy, let us know where they can find you at.
Hoodie Ramy, you know the deal.
Yes, sir. My man Hoodie Ramy, you guys know him as, King of Ravens Twitter. He's all over Ravens Twitter, man. Like, just each and every day, just blowing it up. Big shout out to him. He's doing this thing right now.
Thank you.
Let's give it. Thank you for coming through. Let's give a big shout out to everybody who is here in the live chat right now, watching the show. We got our guy Tyler Sugar in the house. Says, "What's up, Rain Gang? What's up, Tyler? How are you tonight?" Andre in the house. Mod Boz in the house as well. Says, "Yo, Rain Gang, what's cracking? What's good, Boz? Thank you for joining the show." Chris Reed in the house says, "What's up, Rain Gang?" X Lee here. Yolanda in the building as well. John Stadelman, thank you for joining the show. Isaac H in the building says, "Yo, Ramy and Rain Gang." What's up, Isaac? Thank you for joining the show tonight. We got Kimberly. Kimberly's in the house, says, "Hey, Rain Gang, sorry I missed your last live stream." Kimberly, that's okay. It's perfectly fine. You're here tonight. We appreciate you for coming through. Taquan Christian in the house says, "Yo, what's up, Rain Gang?" What's up, Taquan? Thank you for coming through, as always. Taquan is like a Purple Rain pioneer at this point. Always,
you got to throw him in there.
Yeah, got to throw him in there, definitely. But yeah, thank all of you guys for coming out to episode 82 of the Purple Rain podcast. We got quite a little bit to get into tonight. We're not going to hold our guy Ramy for too long. We're not going to hold you guys for too long because we do know Monday Night Football comes on tonight. I mean, it's not the sexiest of matchups. We got the Jets and the Colts tonight.
It's Thursday, bro.
Not Monday night. I'm sorry.
Bro,
Thursday Night Football.
For a second.
I'm tripping. Thursday Night Football. My bad. I'm getting my days mixed up. They're all kind of running together now. Thursday Night Football. But yeah, the Jets and the Colts tonight. It's not the sexiest of matchups, like I said, but we do get to see on national television what our guy Mike White has to offer, right? So that's fun. So we'll get to watch that. We won't hold you guys for too long, but yeah. So we got an interesting matchup coming up this week against the Vikings. Coming off a bye and a loss, both of those things. This is a very intriguing matchup. It's a must-win. I think you guys would agree this is a must-win for the Ravens, as every game is. But this game right here, because we're just coming off of a loss. We were on our high horse, coming off of a 5-game win streak. We get knocked on our ass by the Bengals, and now we're back here at home against Minnesota. It's going to be interesting. So we have to talk about it here, guys. And what I want to start with is kind of just like the team ranks for this preview.
Okay.
I'll just kind of tell you guys like where both teams are at, as we always do with our game previews. So listen, the Minnesota Vikings right now, they are, 2-5 or 3-5?
Yeah, 3-5.
Yeah, they're 3-5. Yeah, and our Ravens are 5-2. Points scored a game. You got the Minnesota Vikings scoring about 23 points a game. That's ranked 18th in the league. The Ravens are scoring about 26.7 points a game. That's ranked 8th in the league. Points allowed per game. The Minnesota Vikings are giving up 22 a game, which is ranked 12th. The Ravens are giving up 23, which is ranked 17th. You go down to pass yards per game. The Minnesota Vikings are actually 8th in pass yards per game, throwing for about 270 a game. Big shout out to Kirk Cousins for that. Baltimore Ravens throwing about for 268, which is ranked 9th. So right behind them, right on their heels. Rush yards a game. Minnesota Vikings and Dalvin Cook and co. They are rushing for about 124 a game, which is ranked 10th. The Ravens and company are rushing for 149, which is ranked 3rd. So, even with our, of course, we say it over and over again, with our injured running back room, we're still doing our thing on the ground, which is, as to be expected from the Ravens. Defensive pass yards allowed per game. The Minnesota Vikings are ranked 18th, allowing about 246 per game. The Ravens are actually ranked dead last, 32nd in the league, allowing 296 passing yards per game, which is a huge issue.
Yep.
Which we will get into as well. Defensive rushing yards allowed per game. The Minnesota Vikings are allowing 120 yards of ground, giving up a game on the ground. So 120 yards, that's ranked 21st in the league. It seems like we can probably run the ball on them. We're only giving up 86, which is ranked 4th in the league. So our run defense hasn't been all that bad this year. and the Vikings defense on the ground has been pretty bad. So hopefully we can exploit them in that way. But with all that being said, fellas, I want to kind of get you guys' first takes on this game. Rami, I'm going to start with you. What is your, I mean, I guess we can just go ahead and jump right into it, huh? Let's get into our keys to victory. Yeah, let's get into our keys to victory for this game. Rami, what do you think the keys to victory for the Ravens are this Sunday?
In my opinion, like, I don't know if it's because we're playing another LSU guy. And it's not just Jay Jettas, but you can't let Justin Jefferson wreck you. You can't let Dalvin Cook wreck you. You can't let Thielen wreck you. They got so many game wreckers. So really it's just going to be kind of the same game plan as last week. Just don't let someone game wreck you, you know what I mean? Like Jamar Chase, like last week, I was there. I had to witness that in person, unfortunately. So the first quarter, like, he wasn't doing much. Like, I thought he had a pretty quiet first quarter, like, relatively. And then he gets a 20-yard slant, and then another one, and another one. So just avoid all that, you know what I mean? And Dalvin. But the run defense has been pretty solid, I feel like. I mean, I know there was that one clip of Brandon Williams getting tossed around, but overall, just don't let someone game wreck us, you know what I mean?
Right, I got you. And like you bring up Jamar Chase, what he did, and like kind of the equivalent to Jamar Chase this week is going to be Justin Jefferson, like we are saying. So, who do you think we stick on Justin Jefferson? Is it obviously Marlowe, or I mean, after what happened to Jamar, with Jamar Chase versus Marlon Humphrey, do you think we should put somebody else on him, or what do you think there?
I'm following Sooo with what Deshaun Elliott said this week. Regardless of the Bengals game, you move forward. He's still, I mean, Marlon Humphrey's not that guy, bro. Like he's an all-pro. He's been that guy for us, and I don't want one game to distract anybody. He's still that guy. You gotta put your faith in your $100 million man. For sure.
Yeah, definitely understand that. For sure.
It's gonna be like Averett though, bro, like big time for real. Because I mean, they're gonna attack him.
Yeah, I mean, because you still got Thielen.
Yeah.
Thielen's that guy.
Like, right. I mean, let's not act like Thielen's not, like a couple years ago, he wasn't a top 5 receiver. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Absolutely. But Alex, your keys to victory for Sunday's game.
So news today just broke that there's centers on the COVID list. Let's get some sacks. Ooh. Let's get to COVID Kirk. I mean, let's get to him. I think if you can make him nervous in the pocket, he'll make mistakes. I mean, he's not a bad quarterback, but he's a game manager, in my opinion. You get to him, you can maybe throw a pick one or two ways, and who knows then what happens. But I think the line's weak, and we need to just get some pressure and get some sacks. And I mean, like with 4-man rushes. Let's hold him the blitz, because you cannot blitz, like you said, with Jefferson and Thielen. You can't blitz this week.
Please, for the love of God, just tackle. Just tackle.
Please. That too. Yeah.
I know it's simple. We all know it. Please just tackle, because I'm going to be there again.
Oh, you're going to the game?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, I'm going too, bro. We got to link up. I'm going to the game too. We definitely got to link.
Let's do it.
But no, Alex, you bring up what are you talking about? Oh yeah, the blitzing. Wink Martindale, he does not discriminate when it comes to that blitz scheme. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins. It doesn't matter. Jared Goff, doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So it's like, he's going to blitz. And do you think that will hurt us? I think it will hurt us personally. Me personally, I think it's going to hurt us in the second half. When the defense starts to get a little bit winded, you know what I mean? Like, both sides start to get a little bit tired, and the offense can kind of dictate what they want to do on the field. If Kirk Cousins can do what Joe Burrow did, which is, hang in the pocket, weather the storm, don't really get weathered by the pressure, you know what I mean? And just kind of make his throws, because it's going to be one-on-one coverage if we're blitzing like that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, what are your thoughts on Wink Martindale going into this game?
We're 32nd and pass. Blitzing just hurts it even more. I mean, I will have more people in coverage rather than rushing the quarterback. Yeah. Right. I mean, I don't know what to think right now with this defense. The tackling's number one problem, and then why are we 32nd? I've never known this defense to be last in anything, literally anything. So this is just a different team altogether. But I think when we rush 4 against the Chiefs, it was working, and they have a weak line. The Vikings now have a weak line with their center out. Like you say, it starts with the center. So you never know. Like, there could be a bad snap, could be just miscommunication. I think just bring 4 to start the game off, and you can make your in-game adjustments, but you got to get the pressure on Kirk. You really have to.
Yeah. I mean, and I love what you're saying there with the, It all starts with the center. I do love to say that. I mean, because that's definitely true. We saw it last year with Lamar Jackson when we had center issues all season, and snaps are going, east, west, north, south, each and every way, and Lamar Jackson really couldn't corral them and make plays like he should have been. So hopefully the same thing happens this week with their center being on the COVID list, and hopefully we can get some interior pressure as well. I mean, guys like Calais Campbell, guys like Justin Madubuike can rip through the middle, with those center issues, that interior O-line issue there, and make some plays for us there. But you're basically saying rush 4 and the pass rush, guys like Odafe Owe, Justin Houston, they have to have a big game, yeah?
I think I want to see Owe rush and not dropping a coverage.
Bro, if I see him dropping the coverage, I'm gonna get sick for real. I'm gonna get sick.
Yeah, he's shown he can get to the quarterback. I mean,
he's probably your best rusher, to be real.
Oh yeah, I gotta agree with that.
You can't have him dropping in coverage. It's like sending Marlon Humphrey on a blitz. It's just not smart. I don't like it.
It's not smart. That's not what we pay him all that money to do. So why send him on a blitz? Exactly. But yeah, let's see what we're saying here in the chat. We got a guy Gerald in the house tonight. Says, "What up, PRP? Always a pleasure hanging out with the gang. What's up, Gerald? Thank you for coming through.
Boy, Gerald.
G Money, yes sir." Voice says Owe has been oddly quiet lately. Yeah, maybe because he's been getting dropped back into pass coverage.
Yeah,
and not rushing the quarterback. But yeah, man. Let's see. Our Lisa says, "Do you guys think that LJ will break 2,000 passing yards on Sunday? How many is he at right now? You guys know?"
No,
I think he's like 50 some away. I'm pretty sure. Let me check.
Yeah. He's at 1943.
Yeah,
57. So, he'll get that in first drive.
If he don't get that, bro, we're in trouble.
First drive.
We're in trouble.
Right, yeah, for sure.
But that's another thing, right. Like, real quick, first drive from the offense, it better be like, we can't start slow because then it's going to get real ugly for the defense. Keep them off the field. Keep them off the field. Don't let them get tackled.
Absolutely.
It's got to be 7 like it was against the Chargers. Start out, punch them in the mouth.
I feel like we when we come out on offense, we tend to get slow. We start out slow, and that's not Ravens offense for the past 2-3 years. So it's kind of unusual, but
yeah. All right. So we do have our first super chat donation. This one coming from our guy Gerald himself. None other. Just pulling up from the parking lot as usual, man. Joe, we appreciate you so much for making it rain here on episode 82 of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you guys go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you are new here, our guy Gerald says, "I understand how us Ravens fans feel about the defense, but for a long time, the defense carried the team. Perhaps it's time the offense start carrying the load." Yeah, Gerald, I mean, I agree. And that's what, the offense has been doing thus far. I mean, I think you guys would agree there. And, Absolutely. It shows and here was my key to victory. This kind of leads into my keys to victory. It shows that we can't carry with the offense when we don't have the offensive line play needed for Lamar Jackson to succeed. So my key to victory, my biggest key to victory is going to be for our offensive tackle play to be sufficient enough to, give Lamar Jackson enough time to make plays. So that I'm talking directly to Alejandro Villanueva. I'm talking to whoever is going to be starting at right tackle, whether it be Tyree Phillips. It could be me.
It could be me.
It could be our guy Ramey. They could call one of us down because you just never know. You just never know. Like right now, we're so beat up at that position. But what are you going to say?
If they can't protect this week with no Danielle Hunter, man, they're never going to protect. Who's their best rusher now? Everson Griffin?
Everson Griffin.
And I'm pretty sure I think he got rest today, actually. I think he didn't practice, but it was just rest.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we can protect Lamar, I think it'll definitely be a really good day. I think it'll be a really good day for guys like Rashad Bateman. I see that he's kind of trending upwards this week. If you look at it like NFL fantasy, they're saying, hey, start Rashad Bateman because they probably know. They know that this secondary of the Minnesota Vikings is not that great at all. No. You saw what they just gave up to Cooper Rush last week, almost 300 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, right. Both Coopers, and including a game-winning drive touchdown as well. So I think Lamar Jackson can definitely deal with the Minnesota Vikings secondary. It's just a matter of can they stop that pass rush? And while they don't have Danielle Hunter, they still are second in the league in sacks with 24 sacks right now. So that is something to worry about going into this game. We definitely have to keep Lamar Jackson's jersey clean in order for us to have any chance, to kind of pull ahead or even start fast, like our guy Ramey was saying, because, all of us Ravens fans, we want the Ravens to, not start flat and things like that. But that can't happen if we don't have good trench work.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought
so
the
much,
sacks because they had 23 all of last year. They topped that already in 9 fewer games, but they're losing to Daniel Hunter and that. So like outside of Daniel Hunter, they're still having a good amount of sacks coming from other people. So they have 18 from other people. That's still pretty good for a defensive line.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many the Ravens have. They probably have more of us, but neither here nor there. I'm looking at just can we stay healthy to on the line? Like I don't know what we're gonna draw up. With the run game too. I mean, if they can get. I don't know who our running back's gonna be. Let me just be honest. I don't know who's gonna get the most.
Again, it could be any of us.
I don't know yet.
Be.
They could call up Nate McCrary and say you want to get like 5 rushes. I don't know. But this line's gonna dictate whether it's gonna be a blowout or it's gonna be close. That's how I think.
They got to get some type of run game established too, bro. Like last week, it was so ugly. Like it was so bad. It doesn't seem like there's any Bell just doesn't. He's slow. I hate to say it, but it's rough. It really is rough.
It's bad. It's bad right now. Like the running back room is definitely struggling, and it's crazy to think that we're still third in the league in rushing. And of course, a lot of that has to do with Lamar Jackson. But even still, that is just crazy to think about. But with that being said, do you guys know whether or not Latavius Murray is slated to play this week or no?
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So it's looking like we're rocking out once again with Devonta Freeman and Le'Veon Bell, and Tyson Williams ? Or not?
I have mixed feelings on him.
Mixed feelings. How are we feeling about Tyson?
Everyone has mixed feelings.
Yeah, I mean, how are you feeling about him, Remy? Because early in the season, we saw like a good bit of him, and it looked like he was going to be good for us, and then they just stopped playing him all of a sudden. So, how are you feeling about Tyson?
I've always liked Tyson. It's never been anything about his play. I mean, you gotta understand, have some empathy. He got thrown into a hard role, considering he was supposed to be a practice squad guy or a running back 3 at best, and he just jumped to the starter 2 days before the first game. So it's just little things it hurts for me to go watch back the game. There's carries that he'll take. JK is taking for 20. He's taking for 5. Just little stuff like that bugs me, but I can't put too much on him. It was next man up, and I don't think he was quite ready yet.
Yeah, you're right. I agree there. With that being said, we're talking about a lot of guys who may be in, may be out. Let's go ahead and get into our injury report for this week. Alex, do you have that ready for us?
Yeah, I mean, pull up the Ravens real quick. I mean, there is good news. I can always give that. Sammy Watkins returned to practice.
Ooh,
so we could be looking at the Hollywood Bateman-Watkins show. I mean, I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know about you. Tyler Huntley with an illness didn't practice. Patrick McCarry, ankle, didn't practice. Latavius Murray, ankle, didn't practice. Brandon Williams, shoulder, didn't practice. That's something to keep your eye on. He hasn't practiced.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy Smith and Alejandro Villanueva, rest.
I mean, you bring up Brandon Williams not practicing. That is very important because we know what happens when we don't have one Brandon Williams in the lineup. Teams can run all over us. I was at a Ravens game a couple years ago when they were playing the Browns, and Nick Chubb literally ran all over us without Brandon Williams out there on the football field. So, hey, Dalvin Cook, another good running back coming to town this week. We have to prepare for that. We cannot afford for him to gash us, because if he can, that's automatically going to that's going to skyrocket their chances in beating us. If they can start establishing a ground game, especially early and often, oh yeah, it's going to be trouble for the Ravens. It's going to be trouble.
The game last year, the Patriots game, I don't think Brandon Williams was there for that one, and Damian Harris gashed us. So, I mean.
Oh yeah, it was bad. That was terrible.
That was all around.
It was just embarrassing. Oh my goodness. Bill Belichick could have ran it up the gut himself and would have got 24 yards.
Robert Kraft probably could have too.
Yeah, literally. That game, oh man, I don't even want to think about that. But yeah, man, just stopping the run is going to be big for us this week as well. I mean, we've got a lot of talented skill players coming to town when you think about it, like Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, all these guys, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. And I know a lot of people are, picking the Ravens to win and win easily, but I think this is actually going to be a close one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our score predictions for this game.
Can I talk about the Vikings injury report real quick too?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I didn't even let you get to that. My bad.
So a familiar face didn't practice for the Vikings today, and that was one Michael Pierce. Yeah. Then for limited, they had Anthony Barr and Cameron Dantzler, corner. And then full participation with D.D. Westbrook. So, but they are missing Patrick Peterson, who is on the IR, so that secondary is hurting. So I think if we're winning this game, it has to be through the air.
Okay. All right. All right, cool. So, speaking of that, before we get into the final score predictions, let's talk about like some just bold predictions, for the game. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Who's going to have a big game? Who do you think is going to stand out? Like, what do you guys think is going to happen? Bold predictions. Ramey, go.
I got one offensive guy, one defensive guy. I got a big game from Bateman. I got a big game from my boy PQ and your boy PQ, friend of the show.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Wink said that he was expecting PQ to have a big game this week, so we'll see. Yeah.
And I'm calling a Bateman touchdown.
First one. Okay.
First one.
I like that. Yeah, we're going to keep that on record for sure.
I mean, it only makes sense. He went to Minnesota, playing Minnesota.
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh, yeah. You bring up a good point. It's a solid point, Alex. What do you think, though?
Oh boy, I guess for offense, I want to see some more Josh Oliver involved. I mean, they're focused on Mark Andrews again. I don't know if you noticed that. Like they're starting to double him. Receivers will get open. That means I think Oliver will be just left open too. Hopefully Nick Boyle will be back, because if he's back too, I would like that. But for the defensive side, I'm looking at Anthony Averett. I think we're going to see a pick from him this game. I wouldn't be surprised. I think the Bengals were picking on him, and he was holding his own. He was doing his thing. I think he's going to jump one of these routes soon.
I like that.
Bye week.
I like that.
That bye week, they had time. I think
they hit him on those little hitches and those little. He's going to jump one of them. He's going to jump one of them for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Alex, I'm so mad at you right now because you definitely took mine. You took my bold prediction.
I was reading your mind. I was reading.
I was gonna say Averett was gonna get a pick this week, but yeah, I mean, on the offensive side of the ball, I definitely think that this is gonna be one of those weeks where, and this is not the sexiest of bold predictions, but I think the running backs are gonna actually have a good game this week. I think it's going to be one of those weeks. Not Latavius Murray, but Devonta Freeman, Le'Veon Bell. They have a decent game on the ground, and it kind of resets our thinking about our running back room, as it kind of does every couple of weeks. It's like, we have a good game with the running backs, and then there's 2 games where they're just not so good, and then we're back to thinking, okay, maybe this isn't going to work for us. So, I think this is going to be one of those games where it kind of works out. We may get a lead early, and hopefully we build upon it, but I think it's going to lead to a good game for the running back. So that's going to be my bold prediction there. But let's go ahead and get into our score predictions as well. And we can see already we have a couple of members of the Rain Gang in here giving us their score predictions. We see our guy Void here says Ravens 26-18. I like that. Lisa always predicting a blowout. Says 45-10 Ravens.
I wish.
All right. I mean, I wish, man. I wish we can just sit comfortable like that against teams. Kimberly says 50-9 Ravens, another big blowout. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I hope so.
Yeah, let's see. Fireline 107 says 34-26. I'm assuming Ravens. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I mean, it's close. I think it's gonna be a pretty close game. I'd say like one possession, honestly.
What's your prediction then? Let me hear it.
Oh, my prediction. My official prediction is, and this might sound kind of generic. I literally said this on the podcast yesterday, but 24-17. 24-17. I think it's going to be kind of low scoring. I think that we will come out a little bit flat. I think we will. Coming out of the bye, I think we're not going to be, and I hate to speak this into existence. I don't want to do that at all. I just kind of feel like this is what will happen. I feel like we'll start a little bit slow, and then we'll kind of, heat up in the second half. And I think we'll end up scoring about 24 points, and we'll hold them to 17. Defense will make some plays throughout the game. There'll be a couple turnovers, that sort of thing. So yeah, Ravens 24-17 for me. But what about you, Ramey?
Run 30-24. 30-24.
24. Okay.
I'm going 31. By the way, I'm going 31-21 Ravens.
31-21. Okay.
Yeah.
So biggest deficit from our guy, Simply AS10. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I don't think that's egregious at all. Like, honestly, like, a 10-point game, I can definitely see us like kind of, I don't want to say blowing them out, but we can definitely stretch it to 2 possessions. 2 possessions is definitely not out of reach for us. Like Lamar Jackson and company can definitely make that happen. I think that, early in the, if we can get started fast, I definitely think it can be a 2-possession game. But it just hasn't seemed like we have been able to do that all season.
I'm just trying to stay humble with my score predictions. That's what I try to do.
I try to do that too, man, and it's just like, I end up looking like an ass like every week. So, but yeah, let's see what else you guys are saying here for score predictions. Our guy Dylan says 34-20 Ravens. Yolanda says 28-17 Ravens.
Okay.
We got Mitchell in here saying 28-24 Vikings. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, Mitchell. All right, Mitchell. Yeah. Don't do that.
Do you know where you are, Mitchell? No, I'm just kidding. Jaybird saying 31-23. Jabari Cruz. What's up, Jabari? Thank you for joining the show. Says 27-20 Ravens. And Yolanda says it here. I am so over the slow starts on offense. I'm hoping we can change that.
So am I.
Like now. Oh my goodness.
It's hard.
It's sickening. It's sickening for real.
It's bad. Like going 3 and out on our first 2 drives, it's a buzzkill. It's such a buzzkill. I mean, you're waiting all day to watch the game, and then it's like you start watching, and it's just like the offense is just so stagnant. It's terrible. It's terrible. But yeah, we do have another super chat donation. This one coming in from Lemon Sharaf. Thank you so much, Lemon. We appreciate you for making it rain here on episode 82 of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you like the video. Says, I think the Ravens will win in overtime. 20-yard run by Lamar, 30-24. Okay.
I don't want to go to overtime.
Bro, my heart can't take another overtime game. Stop wishing that evil on us.
Stop, please, no overtime.
Oh my goodness!
This team got beat by Cooper Rush. We better go to overtime with them.
Yeah,
off a bye week too. Yeah, off a bye week.
And this team, I feel like this team will never get the respect it deserves if we keep going down to the wire with these lesser than teams. These teams that we should be beating up on.
Yep. Lions.
So right, exactly. Colts. You know what I mean? Like we should be beating up on these teams. Yet we're going down to the wire with them. That's why we don't really have any brownie points with the media. But yeah, it's whatever. We're the Ravens.
The NFL is in a weird spot right now. There's no clear favorite in the AFC, which is weird.
Yeah.
Facts.
Christian says Ed Reed said on a podcast he's predicting, I guess, Ravens 30-17. Okay, like that.
Well, Ed Reed says so that's going to happen for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. So let's do one more question before we let you go, Ramey. We have a question coming in from Calvin Grant. Excuse me. Says, hey guys, if the draft was tomorrow, which direction are we headed?
I was on Bleacher Report, and they had one report out. They had us taking a running back in the first round.
Wow,
I'm gonna go find that. I'm gonna put that out there. I'm gonna tweet that out.
It makes no sense. Like pick 28, maybe in the 4th or 5th round of running back, not in the first round. No way.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro.
I mean, it's got to be offensive tackle, right?
Or the other side, defensive tackle. One of them, right?
One of the lines. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Trench work overall definitely does have to improve. Christian says it himself here, defensive line or O-line. Yeah, hit the nail on the head right there. So, but yeah, thank you so much, Ramey, for coming through this episode of PRP. We appreciate you. Hell yeah, man. And it was an honor. This is the face reveal of our guy, Hoodie Ramey here. So big shout out to him for doing that, coming through tonight. We appreciate you. And just one more time, let them know where they can find you on Twitter.
Hoodie Ramey, man. You know where to find me. You know where to find
me. Yes, sir. I know where to find them, man. So appreciate you, man, and we'll catch you later, okay?
All righty, guys. Have a good show.
All right, peace out. All right, Alex. Yeah. There you have it.
That's
man.
the Ravens Vikings part done. I mean, we have trade deadline still to talk about, news to talk about. I don't want to. It's pretty bad. But can we just talk about the trade deadline real quick and how just boring it was?
Yeah, let's talk about that. I saw some. Go ahead.
I'm kind of mad right now because I made all these videos for the trade deadline and just nothing evolved of it. Marlon Mack, bro, he doesn't want to be there. The Colts, he's healthy scratch tonight too. He's not even playing tonight, and you held on to him.
Wow,
come on now.
What is up with these teams? I mean, because it's like the Browns are doing the same thing with OBJ. It's like
a report came out why the Bucks they could have traded Ronald Jones, but they're like. I guess it's all what happened to the Ravens. They said, okay, what if Fournette goes down? What are you stuck with? I mean, Ronald Jones isn't bad to have if Fournette goes down, but at the same time, it's like you're not really using them. But I do get why some teams are holding on to players, but it's just there's a shortage of running backs. I mean, look what happened with the Titans. AP.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand like Marlon Mack not being, shipped out of where he's at right now. But when you look at somebody like OBJ, like somebody who is making it public that, hey, I'm not satisfied, I'm not happy here, shouldn't you want to get him out of town as soon as possible to get that kind of like that rain cloud over the top of your franchise? Because, I mean, it's just nothing but negative media coverage. It's a distraction to the team, no?
I mean, they're the 3-time offseason Super Bowl champs, Cleveland Browns. Yeah. So, I mean, they have their 3 trophies in the time. I don't know, man. I really don't know what's going on with the Browns. Like, he's like, LeBron was tweeting about it. I saw John Morant, Marcus Stroman. Like, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, it feels like at some point soon they'll probably release him. Because like I said, I don't think any team wants that sort of distraction in their locker room. So, where do you think would be some possible destinations for OBJ to go?
New Orleans. I think New Orleans is one of them. Yeah.
The Saints with Jameis out for the year and Taysom Hill starting at quarterback, you think they go out and just invest in an OBJ to say, hey, maybe this will save the season?
Hear me out now. I say you start Trevor Siemian at quarterback, okay? He just beat the Bucks. Taysom Hill is best not as a quarterback, but literally anywhere on the field. Like, if you know what, like, your eyes have to be on Taysom when he's on the field because he will burn you all, catching, running, anything, blocking. I think maybe him and the Patriots would make sense. I mean, come on now. That could help them get to the playoffs. I mean, I think the Patriots can be a playoff team, a number 7 seed.
Yeah.
Give Mac Jones a target to throw to.
I like that.
Hell, I'll be honest. The Buccaneers, the Chiefs, you really can't rule them out because they do that.
Yeah, they would. I mean, I would say the Buccaneers, the Chiefs, hell, even the Rams. Like, you see, like, franchises like that, they're being aggressive. Like, if they know their window and they're going to take it. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to do whatever they can do in order to maximize their chances of winning a Super Bowl while they have the opportunity to do so. So it's like bringing in OBJ is not that much of a wild thought, for like the Rams, the Chiefs, Bucks, any team like that. But I do like what you said about the Patriots, though. I think that could definitely be a good fit, definitely be a standout target for Mac Jones. And Mac Jones, he's definitely been the leading performing rookie quarterback thus far.
Yeah.
And no one's talking about that. No one's talking about it.
He's making the right throws. He's not making the flashy throws. They're winning games.
Right. Making the right decisions like this in his first season, in his first year. I mean, hey, 2-3 years down the line, we could have something to worry about. He could be the Patriots could be right back, that is, to being a serious threat in the AFC. Not that they're not a threat this year, because they still are. They've won their last couple games. I mean, they're looking good right now. But in a couple years, they definitely could be something to worry about for sure. But I mean, like you were talking about before, though, free agency, very boring. I saw somebody put out a tweet the other day saying that like NBA free agency just blows NFL free agency like out of the water. Like it's just it's not even a comparison.
Hell, the MLB trade line is hectic that final day. If your team's in it, you're making 3 or 4 trades within like a 2 or 3 day period. It's crazy. Trading prospects back and forth. So the NFL, it was dead. I mean, the Von Miller to the Rams, that kind of caught me off guard.
Ooh, yeah. Von Miller to the Rams. I mean, hey, look, that's literally another example of a franchise that knows that they have a Super Bowl window, being aggressive and going out and getting those playmaking guys to help them win a Super Bowl. And Von Miller is going to be that guy. So you're looking at Von Miller on that defense, Aaron Donald on that defense. You're looking at Jalen Ramsey as well, and like some other guys too that we really don't talk about, but they definitely play a part in the success of that Rams defense. It's going to be an issue. It's going to be a problem for all NFC teams. And it seems like the NFC, and I actually wanted to bring this up to you as well, Alex. For a while, I felt like maybe you felt like this way too. Let me know if I'm wrong. The AFC seemed to be like the stronger conference, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I would say last year, maybe the year before, and going into the season,
Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Titans.
Right.
How the Steelers started off at 11-0. I mean, all those teams, you didn't know who was going to get it. I mean, last year, the Bucks were a hot mess for a while. They were winning games and drop a ugly loss. The Packers, for me, the only team that actually showed me something the whole year. The Saints, you knew Drew Brees wasn't going to take them anywhere.
Yeah.
But now this
Cardinals
year,
were good for like first half of the year.
Yeah, Kyler Murray was MVP for the first half of the year, and then dipped off with an injury. The Seahawks were the Seahawks, but now you look at the NFC now. I mean, the Rams, I think, are the best team, especially with Rodgers out for the next 2 games, probably. Packers, I mean, I think they'll be good. Cardinals, gotta look at them. If AJ Green turns around, they're 8-0. I don't know what happened in that play. I'll be honest with you.
Jesus,
that
was
hard. The Bucs had a bad loss, but it's hard to count them out.
Right.
And then any other teams I'm missing? Cowboys.
Cowboys.
The
boys. They're looking good this year. They're looking good. I can't even discount them, man. It's like, I can't lie. I mean, the offense looks good. The defense looks surprisingly good. I mean, they've got
Dan Quinn.
Right, Dan Quinn leading the charge there. Linebackers are sideline to sideline. You got Trayvon Diggs leading the league in interceptions. So I mean, things are looking good in Dallas, man. And I think that when they get to the playoffs, they may be one of those teams that have. Well, there's only going to be one team with a first round bye that just started last season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they'll be able to beat out the Rams. They'll probably be in the wild card spot, being honest. But with the Cowboys, they always shoot themselves in the foot at some point in the season. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do when it matters most, because it's been a long, long time since the Cowboys have made a deep, deep playoff run. They haven't been to a conference championship game since I've been alive. And I've been alive for almost 26 years. So it's been a minute. You know what I mean? Yeah, but we do have another super chat donation. This one's coming in from our guy DLC. Thank you so much, DLC.
Thank you.
For donating to the channel. We appreciate you so much. Says, hey guys, just want to say, hey PRP, just wanted to thank you both for y'all for the IG love earlier this week. No problem, man. Always, man. Anytime. We appreciate you. Also, listen, if you don't follow us on Instagram, make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast, because that's what DLC is talking about. Big shout out to our guy DLC for making it rain here on episode 82 of PRP. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe if you are new. But yeah, let's see. All right, so there was some other news that came out this week. I'm sure you heard about the Derrick Henry news, Alex. The Titans, man, they were really riding high. They beat the Bills. They knocked off the Bills. They won their game after that. It was really looking good. Things were looking good for the Titans. And now, with this news, it really just goes to show, like, one injury can turn a season around. And
for certain teams.
For certain teams. Yeah, for sure. But first and foremost, of course, thoughts and prayers go out to Derrick Henry. I'm sure this really sucks for him, especially, leading the league in rushing yards by like a mile, and
it's like 930 something, I believe. And like the next closest is like 600. He'll be top
something
5
totally ridiculous. Yeah. Which is ridiculous, but yeah, man, thoughts and prayers go out to him. But I mean, with the Titans, it's going to be interesting to see going forward. Can Ryan Tannehill truly carry this team on his back without a dominant workhorse running back like a Derrick Henry? I mean, he's got the weapons to do it. He's got a AJ Brown. He's got a Julio Jones. Julio Jones is a top 10 receiver, like, of all time.
Yeah.
And AJ Brown has definitely been playing really, really well lately. So he should be able to do it, right? But if he can't, do you think that the Titans should probably start to look in another direction at QB?
I don't think so. I think he's been pretty consistent his years there. Take him to the playoffs each of the year, conference championship. I don't think they should. I mean, he's another game manager, but you'll see who the real Ryan Tannehill is the rest of the season. If he can get them to the playoffs, which I think he should, considering their lead in their division. I mean, considering who was in their division. I mean, You got Jacksonville and you got Houston. That's 4 easy wins right there. And then you already beat the Colts now. You should be able to make the playoffs and win your division. If not, then I'll agree. If they somehow lose their division, I'll agree that it's maybe time to look somewhere else. 100%. Yeah. But it's hard to blow what he has.
You're right. And it just feels like it's inevitable. I mean, they will make the playoffs, because they're, like you said, they're probably going to win their division. But when they do make the playoffs, they're going to run into a football team, maybe even like the Ravens, who are going to force them to throw the football. and it's going to be in Ryan Tannehill's hands to win the game. And you saw what happened when the game was put into Ryan Tannehill's hands last season in the playoffs. He gave it away, and his team went home. So it's going to be interesting to see it. And honestly, Alex, I do think that if Ryan Tannehill is not able to, make the playoffs and, win a couple playoff games or, really kind of silence the critics in that sense, I think the Titans will at least start to look for their next gen quarterback, man, because they've got talent in Julio Jones, who's not going to be there forever. They've got AJ Brown, who's, probably going to be coming into his prime sooner than later. You got to get somebody who can win you a championship now. You know what I mean?
Either
I don't think that
defense. You have
Tannehill's
Kevin Byard. He was the defensive player of the month. I mean, them contract they just signed him to a big deal too, Tannehill, but I don't know the specifics of it. But at the same time, it's like you might have to. It's just I don't know what they'll do if they were to make it who they play, depending how they lose. Maybe Tannehill could play an amazing game and they somehow lose.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just we don't know, but I'm gonna say if they do somehow lose their division, then you can start looking 100%. Let me check their record real quick because they have to have like a 3 or 4 game lead in their division. Their division is absolute.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have the same record as us.
They're 6-2. Sure they're 6-2, and the Colts are 3-5.
Yeah,
3-game lead.
I mean, 3-game lead. It's like they definitely should not lose their division, and if they do, like you said, it's definitely probably time to look into another quarterback. And like our Larry Davis says here, now we get to see just how good Tannehill is. Yeah, we do. But definitely, if you are a fantasy football player, pick up Jeremy McNichols because they will be giving him the football a lot more now, for sure. All right, we got our guy Don C in the building. What's up, Don C? Thank you for joining the show. We got about 70 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much for coming out to episode 82 of PRP. We appreciate you guys so much. Let's see. Oh yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the whole Henry Ruggs situation and what happened. Yeah, it hurts. Definitely does hurt. And what happened, I'm sure all of you guys know, but if you don't, it did come out, news broke the other day that he was involved in a drunk driving car accident. He got DUI and actually killed a woman, hit her in her Toyota. He was driving a Corvette going 156 miles per hour and hit her, and she lost her life. So prayers go out to her family and everybody involved in the situation. But, it's really unfortunate for, of course, the victim in the situation, and even for Henry Ruggs as well, because, that's it for him, a young, talented player. And for something like this to happen, it really just goes to show, like, one mistake really can ruin everything, so you really have to, like, you really got to count your blessings and just take one day at a time and not really, like, just make good decisions, make good choices, smart choices, especially when you're in a good position to do something good for not only you, but generations ahead of you as well. But what were your overall thoughts when you heard about the Henry Ruggs situation, Alex?
I mean, I saw people were talking about it, and like the one thing I hate is that when something like this happens, everybody's like an expert. Everybody knows, like, oh, like I'm talking about on the internet, like, oh, that's not his car, that's not the same wrap. That's not his car. This and that. Like, bro, how many green Corvettes look like that in Las Vegas? It's no coincidence. So, and at the same time, it's like 156 miles per hour. Yeah. What is the point? Are you in the NASCAR? Are you racing? Like, is it safe? No, it's not. So why the hell are you? And it's just he could have caught an Uber. He could have caught a teammate. He could have caught somebody, but he didn't. And that's why he is where he is. I really like what Derek Carr said. Like, he's going to be there for him because obviously everybody's against him right now. And it probably feels like nobody's on his side.
Right.
There's not a lot of people. Like, Derek Carr is a leader. I gained a lot of respect for him. I don't know if you watch his press conference. Same way with John Gruden. He said he hated the sin but loves him, man. I mean, better man than me, considering what came out with John Gruden.
Right.
And then he killed a 23-year-old. I mean, I'm going to be 23 in a couple of months. So just thinking about that, like, it kind of hits home. Like, that's really – and then the dog too. I mean, that just makes it even worse. That just and it hurts because like I was a huge Henry Ruggs fan. I mean, I'm pretty sure I said it on here. Like they would ask who our favorite players are, and I've said Henry Ruggs. Like not no more.
Right.
I mean, it's just a really bad example, and I feel not only for her family but for also Henry Ruggs' daughter. I found out he had one. Like this didn't just affect another family; it affected your own offspring.
Yeah.
And then seeing him like all messed up in the mugshot, man. There's so many resources, so many, and it could have been avoided. But I guess when you're drunk, you want to do those things. Want to go drive fast. Unfortunate, man.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, very unfortunate, and it sucks that this would happen to such a young woman, like 23 years old, her dog as well. Like it definitely it sucks to hear news like that. And like we said with Henry Ruggs, just a young NFL star who was just on the come up. I mean, just a couple weeks ago he was scoring touchdowns against the Ravens, you know what I mean? And like he was just
He was
putting up
having a great
numbers,
year,
having a great
season.
year, a great season. And at this point, of course the Raiders have released him, and it doesn't really he probably won't we definitely won't get any more opportunities in the NFL.
He's played his last snap.
He's played his last snap. He's facing time, like legitimate time at this point. I think they said like anywhere from like 2 to 20 years. I'm sure with his money, he'll probably get that reduced to something more minimal. But
I mean, which shouldn't even that. I mean, it's sad you have to say that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but
bro, there's just no
it
excuse.
is what it is. There's no excuse for it. There's
and
no
my
excuse.
biggest thing is this is not really fucked up. Sorry for the language. And these DUI, like if it's drunk, impaired, it's always the person who was doing nothing wrong that seriously injured, killed. I mean, that's my thing. It's like I know when I go out and people, I'm not always worried for the person or people aren't worried about me. It's the other people on the road. Unfortunately, that girl was doing everything right, everything. She lost her life.
Right. Yeah. So like we said, man, prayers go out to her family, and just everybody involved in the situation. And it's a lesson learned for everybody. It's like I think it's an eye opener that like, hey, even when you may feel like you're on top of the world, making money, doing well for yourself, that all that can be taken away, can be snatched away in an instant if you make one wrong decision. So, just stay on your P's and Q's and just think logically. Think logically at the end of the day,
I mean, he had so much ahead. I mean, let's just be real. I think he would have had a massive contract for a receiver. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely.
He's a first round pick,
right? Yeah, for sure.
Man, these Raiders are cursed. I don't know what it is with the Raiders. They are cursed.
It's just right. It's scandal after tragedy after injury. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. So, yeah. But anyways, we'll go ahead and leave that there. Let's get into one other piece of news. This news actually does pertain to the Ravens. Somebody else who we have to give our prayers, our thoughts to. Malik Harrison. He actually was shot. He was shot like in the calf like a couple days ago. Very weird.
I was like, what the like, bro,
yeah.
what?
You can say it. Like I felt the same way.
As if this, like, do you still have the soap opera season written on your board?
I don't. I have Lamar for MVP up there now.
Because like that's how I feel. Like this, like what else? Knock on wood.
Yeah.
What? Like, okay, so it's not an injury on the field, not off. It's not off in the practice field. No, it's like actually off the field.
Yeah.
What? Man.
Like, I wonder, like, where was he? Like, what was going on? Like, it's just the whole situation is weird to me. Like, where were you in a situation where there was gunshots?
I mean, that's where he's from.
He's in Cleveland. Okay.
Went to Ohio State. I mean, I get why he was there. It sounded like he was like at a party or something. Maybe somebody just brought a gun and I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, Hey man, once again, guys, make smart choices for sure. If you can make sure that you're not in a situation that's going to be negative in any way, especially when you have a lot on the line. Hey, just take yourself out of it. But this was definitely a very unfortunate situation for our guy Malik Harrison, and all thoughts and prayers go out to him. And we hope that he recovers.
Yeah, they say he should be back within like 3 weeks or something, which is crazy. 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. Kimberly says it's a blessing that he's alive. Yeah, absolutely. And he literally said on, I think it was Instagram or Twitter, one of those, he said that he's doing okay and he's looking forward to being back with the team in a couple weeks. He's gonna have to be out at least for 3 weeks because he is on like a technical IR.
Yeah, add another one to the IR list.
Yeah, another one. So yeah, there's that. But moving on from that, I think that kind of covers our around the league. We'll go ahead and just do
there was
some.
One more. There was one more.
There was one more? Am I missing one?
Number 12 from Green Bay. There was one
more.
Oh,
yeah. Well, yeah. A-Rod, our guy A-Rod is out for the Chiefs game. He does have the vid. And listen, this one's kind of interesting to me because two things. A-Rod, it was a mystery whether or not he was vaccinated or not. I personally don't really care, but I just thought it was funny. I know you saw the clip on Twitter of like his interview from like back in August when somebody asked him if he was vaccinated. He was like, what did he say? He was like, I've been immunized or something like that.
Yeah. Like,
I thought that was funny. But yeah, he did catch the vid, so he won't be playing this week against the Chiefs, which is a bummer because, you would have loved to see Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes. But we do get to see Jordan Love versus Patrick Mahomes. So, that'll be interesting.
Oh, my God.
Or maybe Blake Bortles, Maybe Blake Bortles. But yeah, I'd rather see Jordan Love. I want to see what he has to offer, But what were your thoughts on A-Rod and the whole COVID situation?
I just think... I don't know. When I think of Aaron Rodgers now, have you seen the video of him dressed up as John Wick with the Pooh Shiesty in the back?
Yeah.
Video. I mean, that's just kind of been stuck on my head. I don't know about Rodgers because like he comes off to me as a very smart guy,
right?
And he just like I thought he'd be straight up. I don't know, man. The Packers, I still think they'll win. To be honest, I can see them beating the Chiefs even with Jordan Love. I don't know why. They're a very talented team. That defense of the Chiefs, they're suspect. They are very sus. Oof. But I don't know what I mean. Did they say he was vaccinated? They didn't really specify it. Maybe I don't know. He could have been immunized for measles. I don't know. I mean, unless they didn't specify it. But I mean, it was obvious what they were talking about. So
right.
Who
knows? Yeah. But shout out to our guy Aaron Rodgers, man. Hopefully he can be back in a couple weeks. Because he was definitely having a pretty decent season up to this point.
He was my MVP frontrunner, but now I think it's gonna be Stafford, to be honest.
Stafford?
I think he just gave I put a tweet out. I said I was wrong. I said it. I just think now, like if he's out 2 games, I definitely think Stafford jumps him. Or unless maybe Kyler goes crazy.
I was gonna say Kyler, yeah.
He's hurt. That he sprained his ankle.
His ankle injury, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. You know what's funny? I actually wanted to. I was taking a look earlier today at our top 10 quarterback rankings going into the season, and it was just hilarious. Like when you look at like who we have in our top 10, some of the guys who are in there or aren't in there, it's just funny. Maybe we'll bring that up on next episode. I'll have to cue that up, but. Let's go ahead and get into some picks here before we go ahead and close out the show tonight.
Okay.
Thursday night football. So tonight's matchup, Mike White and the Jets are traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Who do you got tonight?
You know what? Jets, Jets.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. I'm gonna go Colts in this one. Yeah. I think that Carson Wentz has a big game. Yeah.
I can see it. Hey, Jonathan Taylor, please.
Jonathan Taylor, yeah. I'm going to go with the Colts, though. Let's see. So Sunday, Browns at Bengals. This is a good one.
You know what? I'm thinking the Bengals. I think they have a bounce back game. The Browns are in shambles right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Yeah, I was picking Burrow and the Bengals in that one too. Just think there'll be a little bit too much for the Browns. I mean, the Bengals are no longer like the little brother
No.
of the AFC North. Like they are here and they are here to stay as long as Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase can stay on the football field. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says, those guys are a dynamic duo as anybody else is in the league. So I'm gonna go with the Bengals in that one. Broncos at Cowboys. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. Yeah, for sure. Texans at Dolphins. Ooh, toilet
Dolphins.
bowl.
Yeah. Actually, wait. I'm going Texans. Tyrod's playing. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with I think the Texans I think they'll win this. I got Texans.
Ooh, it's gonna be. Oh man, like I said, this is definitely a toilet bowl, and I see some of you guys saying Dolphins.
We play that next week too.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
Thursday night.
I'm gonna go with the Texans in this one. I'm gonna go with the Texans. I do believe that Tyrod Taylor. I think he can pull out a W if he can get the ball to Brandon Cooks a couple good times, get a couple good plays. I think that could definitely set them apart from what the Dolphins can do. So I'm gonna go with Texans in that one. Falcons at Saints. I'm gonna go with the Saints.
I'm gonna go with the Saints too.
I'm gonna go with the Saints. Yeah, it's gonna be close though. I think that one's gonna be close. Raiders at Giants. I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
I think Carr's gonna have an amazing game.
Yeah, for sure. Patriots at Panthers.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I kind of wanted to say the Panthers, but I like what the Patriots are doing. Matt Judon's playing out of his mind. I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Right. And I know Christian McCaffrey is being designated to return soon, but I don't know if he's playing this week. But I'm going to go with the Patriots in this one too. They've definitely been playing better lately. Defense looks good. Mac Jones looks like he's, like we said earlier in the show, making the right decisions. So I'm going to go with the Patriots for all intents and purposes there. So Bills at Jaguars.
Bills. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, for sure. Of course. Vikings at Ravens. We both picked the Ravens.
Yep.
Chargers at Eagles.
This is a must-win game for the Chargers. I can't stress this enough. They lost against us bad. Then you lose against the Patriots. You got to win this if you want to just stay in that playoff race. I'm going to go with the Chargers here. But if they lose this, you might start pressing that panic button for the season.
Yeah. Because the AFC, I'm not going to say that it's like super duper tight right now. There's still some room like at the bottom because listen, there's 7 seeds that can get into the playoffs now, you know? So, you can kind of like scoot your way in there even with like a so-so type record. But listen, they're 4-3 right now. One more loss and they're at an even 500, and you can go whether each way with that one. So you can go below 500, you can go above 500. And if you slip below it, you're not really going to be putting yourself in the driver's seat to get that 7th seed because there's going to be teams like the Steelers. So I feel like they're going to come on later in the season. The Browns, I feel like will get things right. A couple other teams.
Let's say the Raiders win. If the Raiders beat the Giants, they'll jump down. The Raiders are number 1 in the AFC West, and then it's the Chargers and it's the Chiefs, then it's the Broncos. The Chiefs could jump them, so you could be third in your division. They were just first.
Exactly.
They beat the Raiders on Monday night. I'm like, okay, wait a second, like Chargers are for real.
Yeah,
lost the Ravens and lost the Patriots.
So with that game though, I am going to go with the Chargers. I definitely think that they will go ahead and bounce back and get the W there. But Packers at Chiefs. This one, I know you're going with the Packers, aren't you?
I am. I usually don't go against the Chiefs. I haven't been impressed by them. I need Travis Kelce to step up. He has looked like a shell of himself. That right there last week, what we saw from Travis Kelce last week looked like Mark Andrews from last year. In a big primetime game. Fumbling.
He's just fumbling and just,
dropping.
Not good.
It was bad.
Not good. Which is why I think they have a bounce back game. I think they do. Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, I think they have a big game.
They need
and I've got them beating the Packers, man. At home in Arrowhead, I think they can get it done.
It's going to be I'm looking forward to this game, but
it's definitely a good game for sure.
I hope Jordan Love's. What the Packers need to do, they say, all right, find 49 on the field on the defense and attack him. The Sorensen is absolutely terrible. So just Devontae Adams, find a way. They'll have MVS. They'll have Lazard. They'll be good. They lost Tanyan. I was surprised they didn't trade for a tight end at the deadline because they could have gotten one. But I
That's
trust
true too. Yeah. Speaking of Robert Tanyan, I do have him actually in the Rain Gang Fantasy League. So I'm going to actually have to get ready to find a new tight end very, very soon. And soon as in the next 48 hours. But anyways, moving right along here, we got the Cardinals at the 49ers.
Give me the Cards.
Cards, yeah. I'm feeling the Cards too there. Bounce back win there. 49ers, they're just not all together yet. I mean, I really like what I see from guys like, Deebo Samuel.
Deebo's nasty.
Yeah, he's really
I haven't
good.
seen. I was expecting more from Ayuk. Don't know where it's at.
Yeah. I think a lot of us were. A lot of people, when Ayuk was coming up through the draft, wanted the Ravens to pick Brandon Ayuk, but he really hasn't shown to be that guy. So, but yeah, I definitely got the Cardinals in that game too. So Sunday night game is going to be the Titans visiting LA to take on the Rams.
LA.
Yeah,
no doubt.
LA. You're right.
No doubt.
I mean, if Derrick Henry was playing, you would think about it a little bit more.
Yep. Oh, 100%. 100.
Sure.
I mean, even with Von Miller, it's hard to stop him. And what really pissed me off is that injury, we saw it around the first quarter last week, and they still rushed him 27 more times. And you wonder why Derrick Henry's hurt.
Because did you posted like on your YouTube, right?
It was the play, and then they showed him on the sideline at the end of the drive. That was the only rush of that series, and then they still kept playing him. I mean, he was limping throughout it, but that was the final play before like you could actually see like discomfort. And what somebody said, they commented on, it was like just the way his foot twisted is what like caused it.
They said it was like a Jones fracture.
Yep.
In his foot or something.
Yep.
Yeah, like anytime they put a name behind an injury, it's a serious injury. Like it's real common, specific.
Like Sammy Watkins. Oh, it's just a hamstring. He'll be back in a couple of weeks. Cool.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like if it's a this, it's like, oh god.
A Jones, a Liz Frank, you know what I mean? Like
then you got the hairline fractures on some.
Yeah, hairline fractures in baseball. Sometimes you got to get Tommy John surgery, things like that. It's just it's not good. Not good. But like we said, prayers up to Derrick Henry. Hopefully he can be back because they said he may be able to come back by the time playoffs roll around. So we'll see. But I do have the Rams in that game too. But then wrapping it up with Monday Night Football, we have the Bears at the Steelers. What do you think about that one?
Justin Fields impressed me. That one run against the Niners, that was on like 4th and 1. He like cut back. That was a nasty run.
That was amazing. That was the best play of his career.
Yeah. But what the Steelers did against the Browns, I mean, I sacked against them. They went in there and they did their thing. It wasn't pretty. It was ugly. But they won it. So I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Yeah, definitely going to go with the Steelers too. I think that pass rush is going to be way too much for Justin Fields. We're talking. I mean, TJ Watt is going to be all over the field, I feel like, on Sunday. Or on Monday, rather. But yeah, I mean, that Steelers defensive front is scary. And I think that when we play them, that's something that we're going to have to watch out for too. Both the Steelers games are going to be very, very tough this year. Very, very tough. Very. So I hope we're ready, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But that is going to do it for the picks, and that is also going to do it for this episode of Purple Rain Podcast, episode 82. That is the Torrey Smith episode. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you're listening here, listen, if you're actually part of the hashtag replay gang, we appreciate you guys for coming through as well. Make sure you leave a comment down below, hashtag replay gang. We'll give you guys a special shout out because we love you guys just as much. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever that you get your podcasts at, we appreciate you guys just as much too. Before you guys leave, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I am Sutton Def. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def, just like you see right there. My guy Alex, you can find him on Twitter at SimplyAS10Prod, on Instagram at SimplyAS10.prod. And with that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex also take us out for the evening.
Oh, hold up. Got a super chat.
We do have another super chat donation, a buzzer beater. A beater coming from
0.01 left.
0.01 coming from Yolanda. Thank you so much for donating to the Purple Rain Podcast. Making it rain here on episode 82 of PRP. Says, thank you, gentlemen. Wonderful stream as usual. Thank you, Yolanda. So we appreciate you. You're the greatest. You're the greatest.
Hopefully we'll be back on Monday with not a purple pain, a purple rain victory Monday. Really hoping that. But we'll hope for that. But until then, thank you for coming through episode 82 of the Purple Rain. I didn't give a shout out to the Braves for winning the World Series. A big shout out to them.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
Smoking the Astros pack. But thank you for coming through. And as always, stay positive. Test negative.
Yes. And never, ever, ever forget to call God. This has been episode 82 of the Purple Rain podcast. We're going to catch you guys in the next